Well. Here we are again, and Russ, I'm ready. It's not Casual Friday, it's I slept in my car Thursday, apparently, for Russ and Nailz. That's it. Can I ask you,
please,
where do you get your, aren't you concerned, Tommy, when you see him show up with this? Like maybe last night he was somewhere that he doesn't.
Hello.
He was somewhere.
Please. Hello and welcome to On the Air. Sully, Little Tommy, and me, Rusty Nailz.
Where were you last?
Huh? No, this is a. I discovered a magic ability that I have.
Of taking bathroom floor mats and turning them into sport coats.
There is a kitchen in Tijuana without curtains right now.
That's the name of my heavy metal band, by the way. Kitchen in Tijuana.
That's right.
Without curtains.
No, I have the ability to make this show turn into black and white with the snap of my finger.
Oh, because it's like a Rod Serling thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't want to, misuse the power. Let me just
Try
give you a quick
it.
example.
Okay.
And okay, we're back. But during the program, at any time, should I design?
Let them see it. They can do it.
Want to do it again? Here we go. On your mark, get set. And we're back to color. So just don't mess with me today, or I'll put you right back.
That is, you do look like you're in black and white today. So great to have you along, Little Tommy. Good to see you.
You know what? I am excited about today's show because we have a bunch of guests, starting with Butch Rose.
Yeah.
He's from the 1990s best radio station ever,
Who?
Q106.
Okay.
We got Eddie Pappani from Rock 105.3.
Love Eddie Pappani.
He's on top of the mountain.
Did I tell you that I bought those guys a refrigerator last time those guys were on there?
Yes.
Is that the show?
Yes.
Yes. That's
And
the show.
we even have.
No, it's called The Show.
Okay, sure.
Right.
Today's show even features a Super Bowl MVP, Mr. Mark Rippon.
You know what he also is?
What?
Bowling alley karaoke star.
Are you
Yes.
kidding?
He won Dancing with the Bowling Alley Karaoke Stars 3 times straight. If we can maybe talk him into slicing a little of that Super Bowl manhood off up on the stage up there.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you know who our musical guest is today.
For the first time ever, a returning guest, the Anthony Cullins Band.
See?
What's
And
up,
there they are.
fellas?
Look how excited they are.
Don't talk, just play. Let's do this. I want to hear what
Let your music do the talking.
Come on.
Sitting across the table, looking for some trouble. You know it's just for fun. The way you look at me, I really see it, I do. Now the moment's on. Well, sometimes I get all mad. Now and then, little sad. And all the days I feel so bad. Yes, I do. Always do. Things ain't what like they used to be anymore. Every day is a memory, nothing is sure.
Wow, every time. Like literally, I hate to say this, 'cause I always say the band is my favorite band when they come in. But I gotta tell you guys, it's just killing. Can I ask you, Anthony Cullins Band, how old are you, man?
20.
That's just illegal.
20?
Like you can't have that much time. You torture me, man. And those are all originals, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You know,
I can't have this. I can't have this here.
He was known as the Fallbrook Kid.
Yeah.
I remember when he was like 12 playing guitar.
All right.
And look at him now.
All right.
When did you start picking up that git fiddle?
I started playing guitar. Well, I did odd jobs like when I was 9. And by
You
the
did
time I
odd
was,
jobs when
like,
you were 9?
Mowing lawns and stuff like that.
You sound like a blues star from Louisiana.
I could buy a $100 guitar kit from Costco. So by the time I was 10, had the money, and then I bought it, and then I started.
That's like, it sounds like a good story. You know, I did odd jobs when I was 9.
Who does?
And on drums, Mr. Malachi Johnson.
That's very nice. Hey,
That's
Malachi.
good, huh?
And on bass guitar, Mr. Kyer Wilcox.
Good to see you guys.
Yes.
So have you guys got to play anything? Do you have massive popularity since the last appearance on our program?
I got some phone calls, for some stuff,
All right. Because we get some phone calls too.
Yeah, we did.
Probably not for the same reason.
No.
These are the type of phone calls we get.
I'm just.
I don't want to see it again.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
And if you don't do it, they're fired.
that's it.
All right, so you guys stay with us all day?
I guess.
All right, good.
Yeah, we might do.
The enthusiasm's overwhelming.
Wow,
you know,
it is. Hey,
this is why he does odd jobs still.
watch this. He's still mowing lawns, but don't do that again, or I'll snap you back to black and white. Are you ready?
All right, who's our first guest? Let's get him out
You know,
here.
back in the 1990s in San Diego, there was a #1 radio station called Q106. And the next guest.
Is that because you were on Q106 for a while? Is that why you say that?
Well, I was
Because the Jeff and Jarrett radio.
Well, I was there from 93 to 97.
Okay.
But this guy is probably from the original crew, and he's coming in now. Ladies and gentlemen, from the United States Navy, Mr. Butch Rose.
Butch Rose.
There he goes. Come on,
There's
there he
Butch.
goes. What's up, bud?
How you
Have a
doing?
seat.
Right here, right here.
Uh-huh.
Get some?
Right there.
Get some? All right.
Talk to us
What
a
up,
little.
Butch?
I want to pull that voice out of my memory,
How you
babe.
doing? How you doing,
But
baby?
the reason why he's
I
here,
remember that voice.
you know, he's here to talk about radio, but also he started a business called Homie's Cinnamon Rolls.
What?
And
Excuse me. Hold on.
Homies?
Homies
cinnamon rolls.
Homies.
I wish I had
Homies
one.
Cinnamon rolls.
My wish
But-
came true.
Can we get taken off the air for that?
He's in Las Vegas at the Raider Stadium. At Raiders.
Okay, hold on. You're in Las Vegas at the Raiders Stadium.
Yes,
Can I
sir.
just say this right now? NFL football, 22-year-old millionaires in Las Vegas. What could go wrong?
Haven't
Like,
seen
honestly,
any
what
problems
could go?
yet.
What
Not
possibly
yet,
could
not
go
yet.
wrong? So, have you seen any of the? Does it look like a slow-moving train wreck, or is it going to
No,
be okay?
no, it's all right. Everything's okay so far. Everyone's taking it easy. You know, they're making sure that the guys are under control.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose that contract. That's big money. You know what I
it is
mean?
big money.
Yeah, but here, when I was 22, anywhere near Las Vegas, and I had like $30 in my pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't coming.
I
I
would
was
come home with a paycheck. I used to
you've-
work comedy clubs here in Vegas, and some guys would go broke the first day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It can happen.
It
Yeah.
can happen. How long have you lived in Vegas?
2011, I moved up there from San Diego. Yeah. So.
And you didn't start the cinnamon bun company here? You went to Vegas
No,
and
no,
started?
no. I started this in my mom's kitchen years ago.
I bet she loves that.
Yeah, well, I was a Navy baker first, and then when I got out of the Navy, I started doing this for myself, walking around the street fairs and outdoor concerts, kind of getting a name for myself. Opened my first store in Mission Beach, so I was down there, and then got into Qualcomm Stadium, and ended up in Qualcomm Stadium for 4 years.
But how did you do that? Because there's a story behind it. What did you do?
so
to
when
get
I was
there?
in radio, and Clear Channel had a box up there, and we had a
Remember Clear Channel?
Remember that back in the day?
Do we?
So I had to figure out a way to get the attention of Larry Lakina, who was a Padres president at the time. So I wrote a proposal and I asked for the name of the girl that worked for him in the box. So I went and knocked on the owner's box during the game with my proposal, and I said, "Yeah, is Bridget here?"
Hello.
And he goes, "Yeah, she's here." So I handed her the proposal. She just gives it to Larry, thinking he's supposed to have it.
Right.
3 days later, the Padres called me, and I was in the stadium. So.
Smart
You know,
move.
a clipboard and a wave will get you in any door in this town.
Yeah.
It's a small town still. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, that was
so
cool.
then, how does that? What are the mechanics of that like? I think people sometimes wonder because you see Cardiff Seaside Market has like the Cardiff Crack Shack, or you see Mike Hess Brewery or whatever. What's the mechanics of actually getting in that?
Well, like Service America at the time had the contract, and people that are trying to become vendors, they submit whatever they do, and then they have sort of like a tasting, and then they'll go over your history, background check, and all that kind of stuff,
Right.
and then they'll decide to have like a little committee and decide what you want to do. But Larry liked my product, number one. He liked my approach, and so
Did he like your mom? That's because you're going to tell your mom now, I'm making these damn things for the stadium, so
Right.
let's expand here a little or something.
So you were at the stadium during many Padre games, many Charger games, many concerts when there's 50,000 people there, right?
Yeah, I was actually one of the first ones to be allowed to take, as vendors, to walk up and down the aisles. And I could never get out of a section before I'd run out. And it was just me, so I'm going up and down the aisle with my warm bag and the cinnamon rolls.
Sticky
wrapped up.
buns, get your sticky buns right here. You know what I'm saying?
The first were kind of looking at me like, cinnamon rolls at a Padre game? And
Did you throw them like peanuts?
Nah, man, they smell my buns and it's on.
Wow.
Ready to go.
Story of my life.
Okay. If I had a nickel, can I call that Tuesday?
Sully's going to scold me for this, but Was the money mind-boggling?
God, you have to ask every single
yes.
person how much money they make.
Yes.
You know, actually, it's not bad in there. You know, there's so many people, and you know, selling them for a good price.
Yeah.
And at the stadium, you have a percentage. So you didn't pay rent, so it was a percentage lease. So they get a percentage
So
of
you
everything they did.
you said you were selling
So,
for 50
yeah.
cents, and you're really selling for $1.50.
So at the stadium though, what kind of beer goes well with?
Yeah, what's the pairing?
Try these.
What's
You
the
guys need
pairing?
to try these.
You know, I don't
trying.
know. I've never drank in my life, so I don't know what the
Today's
beer
your day.
Because
ratio
Russ has
cinnamon
never
roll
not
thing is.
drank.
Yeah, I've been sober over what is it, 20
70
minutes
days.
now.
Well, actually, can I just say this right now? Rusty Nailz
Yeah.
has been sober for 70 days. Give him a big
That's
hand.
right. Thank you.
Not consecutively.
No, not in a row.
Not in a row.
That is total for
Just
my
from the
life,
start,
so
from
I
the very
appreciate
beginning.
So, Homie Cinnamon Rolls, you're in San Diego then, and on the radio, you're known as Butch the Baker.
Correct. Went to Kearney High School, and I was trying to get into radio.
Kearney Comets.
Kearney Comets.
My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's
And
cool.
so Karen Kay, when she was on the air at Q106, was in the Q106 van, and I was at an intersection singing whatever song was on Q106, and she saw me, and then we pulled into a parking lot and became friends.
Wow,
so
that's great.
I said, how do I get in radio? So she started inviting me to different radio functions, and then I met a couple of people, went and interviewed him. Bob Bollinger, who was a GM at the time,
Yeah.
he hired me and been in radio.
Wait a second.
ever
So
since.
everything in your career has you run into like a super important person,
You know, I
and then
guess
you just
so.
suddenly in the business? Because Mark Rippon's in the studio today. Maybe you can play for the NFL.
How would you like to play football?
You know, I got a chance to meet Mark earlier, and he actually played against my buddy Clifford Hicks, who played in the Super Bowl 26 against him. And the funny story about Clifford Hicks for the Buffalo Bills is Homie Cinnamon Rolls is because he and I were driving together, and I said, hey, we got to get the homies together and pitch in and buy a mixer. And I said, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it Homies Place.
Wow.
And so that's where the name came from.
All right.
And tell us about your dad, because your dad started something very iconic here in San Diego.
I heard this story.
You just had Shotgun Tom on, but my dad started Disco 10.
What? Disco 10.
Disco
I was
10 my
on
dad's
Disco
show.
10.
Yeah, it was cool.
No, I was. Weren't
I
you?
remember.
Weren't
I didn't make the
as a
cut.
kid, with the high school kids, we got invited.
Yeah, all the high school
You had
kids.
Farrah Fawcett hair.
And Larry,
Totally.
not Larry Lucchino, but
Everything's about Larry Lucchino.
no, not Larry Lucchino.
Captain Mike. No, it was
Channel 8.
was it Channel 10
Ambrose.
guy.
Mel
Mike Emmett.
Knapp.
Here we go.
Johnny Downs.
Larry Himmel.
Larry Himmel. Oh, my God.
So-
One that he always gets
Yeah.
confused for.
So Larry Himmel, that was one of his first TV gigs. So my dad called over to Channel 8 and talked to Jim Holtzman, who was in charge of everything then. Said, hey, this guy Larry's pretty good. And Larry's, TV career took off from that. So it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool being
That's
a part of
very
that
cool.
history.
Disco,
around.
Disco 10.
Yeah,
What,
Disco's been
you know,
around.
the closest thing we have to Disco 10 right now, getting the kids involved, is Paul Rudy's PPR.
Yes.
You know,
Okay,
because
kids involved,
because you get the high school kids involved and they get their parents involved, man,
And the
and
families,
the
yeah.
families
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, it's really cool because all the high school kids used to watch each other's school to see who's doing the latest dances, who
Right.
had the latest gear on or whatever.
Wow.
So it's kind of neat growing up watching that.
Yeah. Were you a big were you a disco kid because your dad was the king of disco in San Diego?
I had a big old afro and everything, but disco wasn't really my
Yeah.
my
No, that
thing.
ship has sailed.
Honestly, I grew
not
up
sure.
listening to Kiss, Journey, ELO,
Look at
ZZ
that.
Top, and all that. Well, there are two brothers in my whole school, the two black people, me and my sister. Just me and my sister.
Maybe the greatest line ever. Two brothers in my whole school, me and my sister. Fantastic.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool.
So are you in? What, are they calling it Raiders Stadium? Is that what they're calling it?
Call it Allegiant Stadium.
Or are they calling it
Right.
Just Allegiant Stadium.
disaster waiting to happen? No. So it's called Allegiant Stadium. And now, did you get into the same way? You rolled up and you acted like you had a clipboard and waving to owner's box.
Not
Acted like
quite
you-
the same way. When this pandemic hit, everything was just bad, and everybody's in this Negativeville and stuff. And I said, I can't go down that road. So I was sitting there at home. I said, I got to do something to bring myself up because 95% of our business was just gone.
Yes.
So I just doing cinnamon rolls only because I do full breakfast and everything. So anyway, I said, I'm going to call Allegiant. So I called Allegiant Stadium, told them what I did, told them my history, blah, blah, blah. I said, who do I talk to? Who's in charge of this? Who's in charge of that? And started the process. And next thing you know, I got invited to a tasting. And next thing you know, I signed a contract
That's
with
crazy.
them.
I wouldn't even know who to call. Do you call the PR department?
Yeah, well,
Do you
I
call
just
the-
called. Yeah,
Russ, you
well,
never
Levy-
know who to call.
Shut up, I'm learning here.
First thing you have to do is figure out the company that's in charge of all food. So I did that, which is Levy.
Okay.
And they also run T-Mobile food. They also run the NASCAR
This
tracks.
is a
and all that
lesson
kind of
in
stuff.
business here
Yes, it
because
is.
look,
Kinda.
because you could fill in anything in any industry, and what you just did there is you figure out, okay, let's take a 50,000-foot view here, and let's find the path of least resistance and find out who do I talk. You know, look at it's collide with who decides. You don't want to talk to the guy if he's not going to make the
Right.
decision, which is basically what you did,
Yeah,
right?
so I want to talk to who makes the decision in this department, that department.
Question. At Homie's Cinnamon Rolls in Las Vegas off the strip, how much does this cinnamon roll go for?
$3 and like 50 cents.
Oh, you
Yeah.
know. Oh, you know.
Wait, but
How much does it go for?
something?
Yeah,
He's
so-
getting
How
to
much does it
something.
cost to make it?
Hold on. No, I know where he's going.
At the stadium, Raider Stadium, how much does this cinnamon roll go for?
$8.
But you get the plate.
How much does it cost to make a homie cinnamon roll? Honestly. You know you. Listen, I know
Oh,
you
man.
already.
Thanks for coming.
25 cents.
No, wait a
That's not true. That's not true.
No.
I mean, okay,
27
okay,
cents.
no,
I'm sorry.
I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay.
It costs about $30 worth of raw material, your flour and all that
To
kind of
make
stuff, to make 200 cinnamon
4,000.
200.
So $30 for the raw material. Hold on.
There's a mouth here.
Let me just hang on
Who
a second.
decided to make
Hang
it
on.
$8 at the stadium?
That's
Al
on them.
Davis, and he's not even alive anymore.
Well, you know, you got some of these people who are season ticket holders. They're paying 20 grand for 2 tickets, so they don't care. They're just going to swipe
How
and
many
keep
cinnamon
moving.
rolls can you make?
200.
All right, I'm just checking.
Do
I'm
you
just
pay
asking.
rent? Do you
Just-
pay rent?
At the stadium,
Yeah.
it's a percentage lease, so they get a percentage of what we do.
Can you go and just like watch a game? I got to check my bonds, man.
Well, I'll be there every game anyway, just because you know I'm big on quality control
Hey,
and all that kind of stuff.
And you want to see a free NFL game.
yeah, well, that too. Well, there's other events as well, like Garth Brooks is sold out, and I mean, there's things.
Do you
going
sell
on there.
cinnamon rolls like at the country western concert too?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, some of these places, like when they had the monster truck at Qualcomm and all that stuff, that was some of my biggest events. You know.
I bet reggae you sell a lot of sweet rolls
Yeah.
and stuff.
I need to open up next to a dispensary.
You and the Pringles guy. His name is Butch Rose. Butch
good.
Rose is with Homie
Butch
Cinnamon
the
Rolls.
Baker.
Butch the Baker.
Butch the Baker.
So,
And
so
your military experience, there has to be a buttload of stories there.
Yeah,
Oh, my
baking
goodness.
out there for a bunch of guys, and the ship's rocking back and forth. And it's like, I'll give you an example. When I was a baker for the Navy, I was up at 3 a.m. and I baked from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. because I baked for the entire ship. So you're baking all fresh bread for 560 men times 2 slices per man times 5 meals a day. That's just the bread. Then I did cookies, cupcakes, you name it, everything.
but you were
One
really
person.
popular though.
I was very popular.
Super popular.
And again, baking is not
It's a precise
cooking.
science. Yeah, you have to
Baking is
do-
not cooking.
I've done this recipe a zillion times, and I measure out every ingredient every single time, every time I make it.
I want to taste what this tastes like in black and white. Hold on. Just as good.
Do you know what he's doing? And the editors, the funny part is the editors are not going to get this, and he's just going to be snapping like this, like a moron, the whole time. Butch, stay right there because we're going to take a quick break. I want to ask some more questions. Do we have time to ask more
yes.
questions? All right.
Some people are made of plastic. Some people are made of wood. Some people have hearts of stone. And some people are up to no good. But baby, I have good intentions. 'Cause breaking hearts ain't my game. What you're looking for is real loving. Oh, no, no. What you see is the best thing yet. I said, what you see is what you get. I ain't lying. What you see is what you get.
All right. Nice job, guys. Wow.
What you see? I love that song. That's a cool version.
What were you doing there?
Somewhere in there they do that.
I don't think they do it anywhere in that.
Hi, welcome
Never
back.
has there been a song that has that.
Welcome back to On the Air with me, Rusty Nailz, and a couple other fellas that are hanging.
With me, Rusty
With
Nail.
me.
Butch, Baker Butch, is it Baker Butch or just
Butch the Baker.
Butch the Baker.
Butch the Baker.
Butch the Baker, Butch Rose.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Cinnamon Bun King.
Okay, I would ask you, are you going to go the route of all the donut guys around and make like a maple glazed bacon heroin.
Please do.
They have, honestly, have you been to one of these places?
The heroin donut is always a thing.
Honestly,
Well, because there must be, because you can't stop eating them.
I know
They're
they are,
addictive.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
my analogy.
The crack buns.
Sorry.
Got them. No, I got you.
I have 4 different kinds that I'm going to stick with. I have an awesome apple, which is Granny Smith apples baked into the dough. Pecan
Awesome apple.
pleasure,
Okay.
with pecans baked into the dough. Raisin, and then the original. And the best compliments I get from people is that when they eat them, when they're coming out of the oven hot,
Yeah.
it takes them back to when their grandma used to bake.
All right.
And so I'm going to keep that. I'm not going to have a box of cereal on top or candy bars or any other crap.
Right.
I'm just keeping it old school, keeping it original, and
You
just
know,
like grandma used to do.
I have a very popular band, but when I go play blues clubs, I'm called Pecan Pleasure.
Are you?
That's your
little nickname?
Yeah, it's my little nickname called Pecan Pleasure.
Hey, if we go to Las Vegas, where do we find Homie Cinnamon Rolls?
At 3035 East Tropicana Avenue. It's like 2.5 miles from UNLV, right down the street from MGM.
Why are we not making
Perfect.
this thing completely wall to wall across the country? Because this seems like, honestly, this is one of those brands that is scalable.
You know, it's called money.
That's
so,
all.
so as soon as I get the right backing behind me, I'll be able to take them away. Because we've been #1 on Yelp for 4 years straight in Las Vegas. So we're beating Cinnaholic and Cinnabon.
Cinnaholic.
Yeah.
Cinnaholic.
Wow.
Wow, that's a
great.
church
Is there,
reference. or
Yeah,
something.
the Cinnaholic.
I'm
Is there
Cinnaholic.
like a group
I like
for
the
that
Cinnaholic.
afterwards?
That's great. Well, a little trip to Shark Tank, I think you feed those guys some of this stuff,
right.
and they'll be happy.
I mean, honestly,
I'm
you
working
have
on
to
some
think
stuff.
about that. You got into San Diego Stadium from feeding that to Larry Lucchino. Think about that.
Oh, I thought. Trust me. I do a lot of thinking.
So get that thing to Elon Musk.
Hey, we're working on it,
I
brother.
mean, honestly,
You got this.
We're working on it.
How long did you live in San Diego proper?
I was born and raised.
Yeah.
I was born at Balboa Naval Hospital, and then
stuck with the Navy your whole life,
Yeah,
huh?
and then back and working at Balboa Naval Hospital was my last duty station before I got out of the military.
Well, the reason I'm asking because I want you to get involved in this little segment we like to call Mystery Guest.
Okay.
This is where one of us has to come up with a guest that we all might know. I hate this part of the show, so I came up with a guest this
Why do you hate this part of the show? Because you never get
the guessing.
Do you remember the time? Do you remember the time that Shelley Zimmerman went like, and I said Shelley Zimmerman that fast?
Because I think you saw some.
I
emails.
didn't see anything. I
Point
promise.
being, my segment.
I don't
Anyway,
even know who this is.
Yeah, and you shouldn't, but everybody will once we do it. Mystery guest, we need your voice. Say hello to the gathered.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Yeah. So it's a woman.
It sounds
No,
like.
no.
Is that Jeff? Is it Jeff Tetro?
It's not Jeff Detro.
Sounds like Jeff.
It can't be randomly guessed. Ask our guests some questions.
All right.
Guest, if you're prepared, we have some random questions to figure out who the
Okay,
hell
I'm ready.
Are you a San Diego media personality?
Used to be ish.
There you go.
Okay.
Wow. look at
Settled.
the furrowed brow on Tommy. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a real tough one.
Are you someone I've met before? Have we met you before?
Boy, that's tough. I've met Rusty for sure, and I've met Sully. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen Sully in the grocery store. That'll give it away.
Very good.
Rewind.
Okay, here's a tip. He uses his sense of humor and his hands simultaneously.
Oh my.
Never had that.
He's a comedian?
He dabbles in comedy.
And he's also a juggler?
Who is it?
Who's the mystery guest?
Our mystery guest is political cartoonist
Oh, Steve Kelly!
Steve Kelly.
Hey. Yay.
Wow.
Good job.
There he is.
There's Ask Kelly.
Steve, you met me in the studio before, not just in a grocery store.
Well, we were talking.
Hey, Steve.
No. Didn't we run into each other in like an Albertsons?
Yeah, we did.
somewhere?
We did. And it's so embarrassing because I had a cart full of booze and he had a cart full of booze.
Well,
and we were going
yeah.
in two different directions.
It'll be a long
Hey,
weekend.
great to see. Where are you now, by the way?
I'm in Richmond, Virginia, where I reside, and I'm working for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, but the building is shut down up there due to there's some sort of virus. I don't know what it is, but they've closed the building down mostly.
Hey,
So we're all working from home.
So we've known you for many, many years. Russ has known you for longer, and I've even seen you do your stand-up with some of your political cartoons. But it's amazing that you have, in a really tough business, you have maintained employment in the newspaper business through thick and thin. Through how many years you've been doing this, Steve?
Almost 40.
Wow. Look at that.
Hey, I have a
Well,
question.
you know what? It has been 40 because I started in San Diego in 1981.
That's right.
And around 1988, 1989, Steve, you hung out with this one girl, and I was starting with Jeff and Jer, and she would always go to the parties and always bring you up. and you did the Jeff and Jer show because of her. I forget her name, but she was really cute. It was about 30 years ago.
I'm sure he gets out of the top of his head, Tommy.
But that's how you did the Jeff and Jer show. But and my question to you.
That was my Patty. She was a lovely girl, and she was the biggest fan. She was the biggest fan of Jeff and Jer.
Yeah.
Ever.
But my question to you, when you think of the newspaper business, just like when I think of radio, I don't think of the car stereo or your little radio you have next to your bed anymore. I think of my phone. Is that how you think of newspaper business too? Like, is everything available to you from your newspaper to their phone? Is that how you think of it?
Yes. Although I still, just personally, I still like to hold a newspaper in my hand, you know, other than just disciplining the dog. I like to hold it and you know, have coffee and look at the newspaper because I for one thing, nothing jumps in between the story I'm reading and my eyes the way it does online.
No pop-up ads or anything.
Yeah. It's just terrible. And then, you know, to me, the great thing about newspapers is that they're kind of accountable. When they publish something, someone is on the record for that. And if they get it wrong, you can call them and hold up the piece of newspaper and say this, you know, this is wrong. And so they're a lot more careful about what they publish before they publish it.
Steve Kelly, when you're in San Diego again, man, you got to come on by. Steve Kelly, once again.
Bring Patty, Steve.
Hey, we got to say goodbye to all of our guests.
Butch, will you come back with us? Will you come back with us?
100%. Appreciate you guys having me.
Love you, Butch.
Appreciate it.
Do you have a wet wipe or a napkin or anything? For Christ's sake.
On the Air is coming back in a second. Stand by. We got Eddie Pappani from the show coming up.
Oh, yeah.
No, we bada bing. Bada bing.
We're here with the MVP quarterback from the 26th Super Bowl ever played, the first Canadian to win that award. What's your name again?
Mark Rypien. I'm Mark
Cal
Rypien.
Do people do that?
Oh, back in
Rypien?
D.C. Mark Rypien. I go,
Bill
no, Rippon. But
Mark-
I'll be Cal's brother if you want me to. I mean, Billy might be a little upset.
That's
but,
funny. That is funny.
Yeah.
Well, you look like you're in great shape and doing well.
I didn't know you were a chronic liar, too.
I'm a chronic liar too. No, you look like hell, and I'm really sad
Thank you.
for it.
That's being
Anyway,
honest.
Cal Rypien, everybody. Jeez, he gone to hell. Oh, wait, before we go, I want to show
Let
you.
me see what I look like.
Well, this is it. There we go.
This ought to be,
on.
this ought to be good.
If you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready. Looks just like me.
I know it. So I say you're in great shape.
Holy smokes, in great shape.
Have you ever said and wondered about the time it takes to earn your pay? You earn not enough money to last you just one day. You come home sick and tired of being told what to do. It's all just a day's work. That's what it is to you.
That was like a Big Brother in the Holding Company. That's like a Janis Joplin.
Yeah, a
Yes,
little
it
bit.
was.
And a little hint of ZZ Top
Yeah,
I'm
it is.
noticing in there.
Anthony,
Oh, nice.
Anthony, remember you were talking about your guys, your inspirations as a kid. What were you listening to as a kid when you were 9 doing chores or whatever you said?
Odd Jobs.
Odd Jobs.
Yeah, all that. Anyways, I like everything from oldies to rock, like Zeppelin to, you know.
What do you
ZZ
listen
Top.
to now? Same sound?
Yeah, everything. But back then I didn't listen to as much modern stuff. Like I was more like kind of just only.
Sully Band. I'm
Oh, I
sorry,
see.
something was in my throat. What else do you listen to? I'm sorry, very good. His name is Anthony Cullins. Anthony Cullins Band, Fallbrook Kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, thanks to Steve Kelly.
Yes. There he is.
He had to leave.
That's on his way out.
Caught his train back to L.A. No.
Run out on a rail.
You know, he's
just
got-
like last time he was in San Diego.
I don't read it, but he's got a comic strip. It's called Dustin. Dustin, yeah. And it's about a kid who lives in his
Isn't that
parents'
your alternate name, Russ?
basement. Yes, it is. Dust in the wind.
Well, I'm excited about this next guest.
Okay, bring him
As a
on.
matter of fact, let's bring him in now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He is part of the number one morning radio show in San Diego. He's from the show on Rock 105.3. He is the leader of that show. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eddie Pappani.
I'm loving it.
Look at that.
What's up, boys?
What's up, man?
How's it going? Good to see you guys.
What's up, Eddie?
Welcome. You haven't been to the new studio, have you?
This is some nice digs.
Hey.
A little upgrade.
Let me
I
tell
like
you,
it.
you
Well,
know,
you were on last time. We got more sponsors. You know.
Okay,
well, let me
Fill for
tell
some of
you-
your guys.
Let me tell you the last time he was on. The last time he was on was the very first week. Everything was closed down. March.
I
He was
closed
here
it
in
down. I
March.
shut
were the
everything
one.
down. Yeah.
When he
Coughing
came in,
super
Yeah,
spreader.
sorry.
when he came in, we weren't sure if we were supposed to take a photo near each other or spread out. It was that early in the pandemic.
Did you guys do the show? Did you do the show the whole time from the studio?
We
Or-
didn't. We actually did it from my house.
You went to your house.
Well, I have a game room that's kind of offset of my house. I have this separate entrance place.
Granny
And
flat.
so Granny Flat. It is a Granny Flat. My mother-in-law lives there. So,
Well, there's-
you know.
good.
And so, but on the side of
Still
it,
with his Batmobile bed. still
yes,
sitting there.
it's perfect. So on the side of it, there is a little room that I kind of set up as like a man cave, game room type of thing. And so we brought all the equipment there and said, we're the only people coming in and out of here, just the four of us. And we did the show there for about 2.5 months. Then things started to kind of get a little bit better. And we were like, all right, we'll go back to the studio. Of course, it didn't get better.
Right.
But by that time, we were like, all right, we're back in studio. So it is what it is.
The show on Rock 105.3 is one of the only shows where the entire cast has appeared on here.
Yeah.
I think the only one other than that is maybe Jesse, if I'm not mistaken. But we've had every one. We had Thor, we
Yep.
had Emily, we had Sky,
Yeah.
the whole thing. And we get to hear you guys talk about each other when you guys
Yeah.
all talk like you're a family.
Yeah, and now I'm part of the two-timer club.
How's that?
Which this
Oh,
is,
been
Yes.
years.
Oh,
that's right.
It's a two-timer
All
club.
right.
So
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really important.
You and the
now.
band,
Yeah,
actually.
this is great.
Second time
A
for that.
year ago today, if you walked into a radio station, you would have 40 people in the sales department, 10 people in promotions,
Eddie and his team using
5
my copy
engineers.
true.
Every studio had 5 people in it. Today, it's almost like a ghost
Now,
town.
what's it look
really
like
is.
in there right now?
There's nobody there,
No.
and so it's good. I mean, it's a good thing where we just work with each other. So if one of us,
Yeah.
somehow gets infected, then we're in big trouble. But
right.
luckily, we've been, in pretty good lockdown. Everybody's been pretty cool about it. But you literally don't see anybody. We come in the building, and we walk out of the building, and that's it.
Well, if you do get it, you know right where you got it from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
Emily.
it
It was
was
Emily.
Emily.
It was
Yeah,
Emily.
it was
We all
Emily.
know.
My
We all know.
question is,
Sneezed on me.
what did you have to change because of all this? Because you guys are still successful, the ratings are great. Did you have to alter or modify anything to keep the show?
Not really. It's different because there's no intrusions, which is nice. I mean, in radio, there's meetings afterwards.
Yeah,
You're
right.
meeting with
And those are
sales.
fun.
Oh, they're the best. But now, if they want to talk to us, you do it on Zoom or whatever. And so it's different, but it hasn't changed what we do. We're pretty, self-oiled machine. I mean, we've been doing this for so
Other
long.
than all the requests for don't stand so close to me during this COVID.
right. Other than
But you
that.
know what? But there is a secret to your guys' success, and when we come back, we're going to talk about that because it's.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say what it is,
I
but you
wanna
guys
know.
know what it is. The secret to their success is really seems very simple, but so few radio television personalities
I gotta
actually
know what
get
it
to
is.
it.
What is it?
I'll tell you. See, this is when in talk radio, when they say, you had me sitting in my driveway for 5 minutes before you told me Roger Hedgecotch was naked. This is the art of the tease. Yeah. You guys don't learn that crap in FM radio, do you?
I said, watch out for me, woman. I don't need nobody else. Watch out for me, baby. I don't need no one else. I know you're loving. It's all for someone else.
You cannot teach that
Oh my
Anthony
God,
Cullins.
that is so
You don't hear
good.
that on Rock 105 3D.
That sounds like Muddy Waters from Chess Records, 1952.
Look at that. That's an old soul in that musician's body.
Eddie Pappani's our guest. Fantastic. One of my favorite guys in the whole world from the show. Eddie Pappani, who's related to Anthony Fauci.
Yeah.
It's all the same family. The secret to your success, I know, is your connection with your P1s. Because you don't have 4 people in the cast.
Yeah.
You have like 50,000 people in the cast.
It's pretty wild, man, that we've created a show where we're just gonna be us, and it is what it is. We're gonna go through life stuff. Everybody deals with stuff. We lay it all out there. Right. And I can't tell you, and Tommy knows this from his show, he's very similar, that they feel like they are part of it. They're part of the show, they're part of your family, and people come up to me all the time and they know everything about me. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, that's
but
a weird thing.
It's a wild
But
thing.
the difference is, and look at fairly, Jeff and Jer performed. They were good showmen, okay? Nailz, you made a living. You guys don't perform. You guys just.
We are who we are.
It is.
We are who we are.
It's different.
Yeah.
It isn't like, hey, everybody, come on. Like, it's nothing like that. If you turn on the thing, it's like, do these guys know the mics? Oh, okay.
Wow.
We have the Hall of Fame
Man,
producer
Let's
here.
just get the.
who's lining up.
There's that. And hold on.
Hang on, I got a fantasy football trophy.
All right, hang on a second. Okay, good.
That's about it.
Tommy's got to pull out his Hall of Fame.
But you know what? Eddie Pappani, when I think of him, because you're celebrating 11 years with the show.
Yeah.
But you
11th year
started
together.
over 20 years ago.
This will be my 30th year next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
In radio?
Yeah.
But I remember when you were at Star 100.7.
Were you guys also there too, Tommy?
I was there. I was there from 1997 to 2005. But
They were gods.
No,
I gave it up to them.
But I know I gave props to Q106 in the 90s. But wouldn't you agree that that Star 100.7 team of everyone was a great magical team?
It was, honestly, you don't realize it at the time, but looking back at it now, working with the Jeff and Jers, Anita Rush, Greg Sims, who's massive in LA right now, and then Jagger and Christie.
Yeah.
These are all radio
Chachi.
legends, who's massive in the business too. These are all really big, names. At the time, I mean, I was a goofball, side producer guy, who just, wanted a little piece of the action. And then seeing that crew now, I mean, they were all legends.
That's it. Robert Sullivan, little Tommy. I'm working with the Bob and Tom show every day.
Hey, everybody.
Very much.
Thank you.
Bob and Tom was great.
Impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
Yeah, you guys call it 100.7. I think those Kogo days were pretty solid there.
Hey, I remember no one from then. Okay, no.
But tell us about Rock 105.3 today, because it's 2021.
Yeah.
Now you're saying 11 years together.
Yeah.
How's it going? Like, is it going well? Are you guys?
I hope so. I
Well,
mean,
can you explain this when you walked in that day and it was?
I don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you're fired.
Right away.
Can you
That
explain
did
that?
happen.
Can you explain that, Eddie?
Well, I started at Rock in 2004 doing mornings, and then we transitioned to the show in 2010. And so I've seen a lot happen in those years.
Yeah.
It is pretty rare, and you guys know, to be on the same radio station, the same time slot for that long. It really is rare, so I'm blessed in that way.
And again, did you start in San Diego?
I started in Rochester, New York. of
Oh,
all
great.
places, randomly.
Rochester.
Are
Yes.
you a brother Weeze fan?
I love Weeze. He's one of my idols. I love him. And so started in Rochester, New York, at a random radio network. And I was just out of high school. I graduated high school the year before. Didn't know what I wanted to do, and they were hiring for all kinds of different stuff. And I said,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? This will be like my college.
And you end up in promotion.
Because I'm a California boy. No, I
Yeah.
was a producer.
Oh, you got a
I was a
producer?
radio producer.
Nice.
They put me on in the mornings, and I took off ever since then. And I came to San Diego in '94 to KCBQ, one of the legendary radio
Yeah,
stations back in the
KCBQ,
day.
like Stick in my car.
Which,
Like you in my
ironically
car.
enough, was on 105.3.
Wow.
And so I've been on that. I've been
That's
on
right.
that signal for most of my career.
And today, for the show, you are the leader.
Yeah.
And how does it work when you go home?
Leader, I use.
But when you go home,
host, kind
are
of.
you constantly thinking? Do you guys all have assignments during the day to say, okay, you do this, you do that, or are you just all bringing it in the
It's-
morning and saying, okay, here's what we
It's
got?
kind of interesting the way we decided to do it. Every morning we send what's called our yesterday email. So whatever we did the day before, you kind of pay attention to, what kind of interesting things have happened, weird people you run into, stuff like that. You know, if I met you on the street, I'd definitely put that
There's
in.
weird things.
I'd put that in there in my email, and then we go over it, and then we pick what we want to talk about that next morning. So.
His name is Eddie Pappani. Fantastic.
And one of your
Stay there.
biggest
We got
dreams of all time will come true during this program.
What's that?
A Super Bowl quarterback will sing a Bachman-Turner Overdrive song just for you.
BTO.
That's right.
Yes.
Eddie Pappani on the air.
can
Sully,
happen.
Little Tommy, Rusty Nail, Eddie Pappani, and Mark Rippon is going to show up and give us some bowling alley karaoke coming up. Stand by.
I don't ever want to see it again. You're fired.
So like a nice little
Isn't this cool?
mic in there. Maybe do a little karaoke after we're done.
I think with the band. What's the song?
Wonderful Tonight and
Oh, that's a kind of a
Bachman Turner Overdrive. Take care of it.
TCB, baby. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's the one you just yell in the mic and
Yeah.
music gets loud.
We get up every morning from a long talks morning. Take the 8:15 into the city.
And if you ever get annoyed, think I'm self-employed. You're working nothing all day. Taking care of business. Taking care of business.
Taking care of business. All right, let's go. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, the MVP of On the Air, Mark Rippon. Right here, leaving the stage. Hold on a minute. You want to do something from the second album? Wait, we got time, don't we? No? All right, fine.
That's you're a sports fiend.
Yeah.
That's Super Bowl MVP Mark Rippon.
I was in Rochester, New York, when the Redskins played the Bills and won the Super Bowl. Destroyed that whole community.
Oh, you mean
Upstate New York was devastated.
What's the name of the team now?
the Washington
The football team. They're the football team.
Washington
Football team.
There's something good about that.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I want to like because I have a T-shirt that says college.
Sure.
Why can't you say
LA
it says
football team? Or
Yeah.
I have a T-shirt that says shirt.
Yeah, that's
Why
cool.
So football team.
Football.
That's good. All right.
Well, that's interesting.
Eddie Pappani, our guest, and thank you to Mark Rippon for taking the time. What he was walking by?
Yeah, he was out in front, just saying,
That's just how they
Selling flowers.
yeah,
He's looking for
MVP Super Bowl number
Was he
26,
bumming his-
blah, blah, blah. I just drove by going,
Was
what's
he like, hey, got a cinnamon roll? Like, he's sitting home
I'd like to
working
do
for
some
food.
Blue Oyster Cult now. If that's,
Colt?
is that-
Yeah.
Would you like? I would give good money
No,
to see you.
I don't think so.
to see
All
you
right.
sing like that.
What does the show have coming up?
Yeah, what's next for you?
Well, you know, one of our biggest shows we do every year is our Kegs and Eggs broadcast we do for St. Patrick's Day.
I'm halfway there with
Oh man, it is the drunkest show of the year by far.
Fuck, God.
In the morning, we have hundreds of fans that usually show up ready to party with us. Obviously can't do that this year.
Come on.
It'll
Eggs
be
and eggs.
virtual this year, so we will be doing it virtually.
So
getting
the
drunk.
people will be drinking from home.
Yes,
You know what Russ
exactly.
calls that?
It's much safer.
Tuesday.
Oh
you.
yeah, there you go.
I better come over. That's
Yeah.
March
Oh.
17th, I'm thinking.
Done deal. It
Okay.
will be March 17th.
I know. Turn on your radio and then just. Hi there.
It's delicious.
Where's my eggs?
Yes,
So,
it-
Eddie, what do you think? I know you keep up with the news and all that. So, when Christmas comes this year, do you think we're all going to be hugging on each other, or do you think we're going to have Christmas with masks?
Like we
still?
always are.
Yeah, you know,
What do you think?
I do like to hug Sully at Christmas time. I sit on his lap every year, ask him
In the newsroom.
all kinds of weird
Talks
things.
me stock questions.
Yeah.
Do you think this is fading away?
I really do. I think we're definitely trending in the right direction, which I like to see. I do think, you know, we're going to get somewhat back to normal. Are we ever going to really feel, you know, normal and
Yeah.
together?
Well, there's like a 9/11-esque feel because 9/11 changed the way we travel forever.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we already know that
true.
you know what to
You
do.
just get used to it.
Right. I don't think that there's ever going to be no masks.
I'll
I
take a
think
mask
there'll
on a
always
plane.
be.
Yeah.
I think there'll always be that sort of
Do you
thing
guys
that
get
happens.
weird when you see old footage of big crowds?
Yes.
Yes.
I go,
I know.
it's weird. It's a weird
The
feeling.
photo
now.
of you guys on stage.
Yeah.
On stage. At
I know.
The,
That was literally, like, again, a year
yeah.
ago, you know,
Well, you know,
happened.
My daughter got married on leap year. Last year was the 29th. There was a February 29th.
I thought you were starting a country song.
Yeah. Ready, guys? But I thought if she could have waited 2 weeks, because that's when the COVID officially started mid-March, I
would've
could have
saved money?
saved like
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say,
much money.
Man.
Hey, aren't you a Little League coach?
I am. My son's Lily.
So how's that working out? You know,
Just starting back up again. again, last year, our team was loaded. He's 8, by the way. Yeah, our team was loaded. I felt like we were going to go undefeated. We got one game in.
Which was important, by the way.
One game in. Shut it down.
Yeah. But what's
so
going
it was
on?
devastating. So right now, our league is starting to, kind of test the waters. We're getting the kids kind of back out there for practices, safe distance, all that stuff. And then we're going to see within the next couple of weeks if we can open back up and have a
Okay,
season.
so wait though. So you're a public figure and you're a baseball coach. You have to deal with the parents. What is that like? Because there's this thing where you can't just really be who you want to be as a baseball coach.
Absolutely. So I got to kind of watch my P's and Q's because they all kind of know what I do. And so, when I can't really be kicking the dirt on the umpire and things like that, which I want to, but, it's tricky.
Yeah, it is.
And how are you
screaming at
handling-
8-year-olds is never a good look anyway.
No.
How are you handling school? I mean, you have an 8-year-old son.
Yeah. 11-year-old daughter.
Are they homeschool? I mean, Zoom school?
They're at home.
But
They're
how
at
are you
home.
handling that?
My wife has been amazing throughout this whole thing. She's a stay-at-home mom, and so she's the teacher/mom, and so she's got to be able to handle spin plates, the whole thing, and so it's been tough. They're always there. That's the hardest part is when they go to school, I get the nice little break and watch whatever I want on
Sounds
TV.
like chances of having another child are slim.
No, we're done. We've been done for a while.
Especially with a house full of-
Hey, I got to ask you because you are a sports hack. You love sports.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is going to happen in 2020? Is there anything to resemble real sports this year, in your opinion?
I do. I really feel like, again, we're trending in that direction. And if you're a Padres fan right now, this has been the most exciting news
Did
ever.
you see the contract?
Tatis.
We loaded up.
Locked him up.
It's 14-year contract.
They've gone all in. This is the most exciting. Again, I've been in San Diego for most of my life. I've never seen a Padres team like
By the way,
this before.
have you ever seen a Padres team who's top 10 payroll?
No.
Ever?
No. They're usually at the bottom of the payroll.
That's exactly
So they're
right.
going all in. This is the time to be excited if you're a sports
Let's
fan.
sneak
San
in and
Diego.
pretend we're cardboard.
Oh,
Just sit
I like
there,
that.
try not to
I
move.
was a cardboard
I know
cutout.
you
here.
were.
I don't know if you saw me for the
did.
playoffs and everything. I was there.
Eddie Pappani.
Eddie, thanks,
was
buddy.
awesome.
Appreciate
Hey.
it. Great to see you.
Great seeing you guys.
Eddie Pappani, the show. Rock
Air hugs.
5-3. Everyone, air hugs.
Mark Rippon.
Mark Rippon, Anthony Cullins Band.
Butch Rose.
Baker Butch Rose, book the
Butch the Baker.
Where's my cinnamon roll?
Oh, yeah.
Gone away. Yesterday I tell myself that she'd be back for sure, but that train don't stop here anymore. She used to go out with the girls every now and then. She always came home early, jump in bed by 10. She would say she loved me, she would forevermore. But that train don't stop here anymore. 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 She ran out through the back door, screaming in the night. She said I was the devil and I didn't treat her right. The man down at the station said that was her for sure, but that train don't stop here anymore.